Hello, this is Ruth Hollingshead, trustee for Site for Wight, welcoming you to this week's Talking News.
Site for Wight Talking News for Friday the 4th of September 2020.
Alison reading from the Island Echo. Newport councillors call for speed controls on gateways to the town. Members of the Isle of Wight Council are calling for funds to be made available to implement speed control measures at gateway points to the town. If traffic in and around Newport wasn't slow enough already, councillors from Newport are requesting that particular attention is paid to Staplers Road and Long Lane, but also Fairley Road, Blackwater Road, Clatterford Road and Whitcomb Road. Residents at the top of Long Lane and Staplers Road, both residential roads, have been concerned at the speed of traffic entering and leaving the town for many years. A recent survey by Island Roads suggested that speed control measures would be beneficial to the safety of local residents. However, as ever, money to introduce these is a sticking point. Jeff Brodie, councillor for Newport East, who represents residents in the Long Lane Buckbury Lane area, said, "Many people in this area walk and try to cross these roads to catch buses or visit family and friends nearby. They find it very unsafe and they have had enough of putting their lives at risk. It is time that County Hall woke up to the myriad traffic problems in our town. Pedestrians and other road users have as many rights as motorists." Matt Price, councillor for Newport North, who shares Long Lane and Staplers Road with councillor Jeff Brodie, said, "Both Staplers and Long Lane are becoming more dangerous all the time. There are various points along both of these roads where there have been accidents and near misses. We need some speed reduction measures to be introduced as soon as possible. I have the same issues along the whole of Fairley Road, where some drivers just drive way beyond the speed limits and often then rat run too fast through Cross Lane and Horbury Lane. These roads lead from busy residential areas to primary and secondary schools and need to be made safe." Other local councillors, including John Hobart, Julie Jones-Evans and Shirley Smart, also support this call. Newport and Carisbrooke Community Council, of which councillors Brodie and Price are also members, has been calling for a 20-mile-per-hour limit throughout the town for some years, but all to no avail so far. It is argued that this would also help address speeding in through roads like Trafalgar Road and Carisbrooke High Street. Councillor Brodie adds, "There are also many lanes and narrow roads around the outskirts of Newport and Carisbrooke, which only have either 40 miles per hour or national speed limit 60 miles per hour restrictions, when they are not only dreadfully narrow, but also have many blind bends. For example, Burnt House Lane, Blacklands Lane and Marvel Lane. Road safety in and around Newport has been ignored for too long. We must all work collectively together to try and tackle this problem."
This is Brian reading an article from the Island Echo. Southern Vectus winter timetable comes into force. Southern Vectus winter bus timetable has now come into force, with a number of regular and COVID-related changes to the service provided. There are changes to the timetable for routes 1, 2, 5, 7, 22, 24 and 32, and the Needles Breezer. The Shanklin Shuttle and Downs Breezer have now finished for the season. Southern Vectus says that night buses on routes 1, 3, 5 and 9 continue to be suspended due to the coronavirus pandemic. The bus operator is reminding passengers to adhere to government advice when travelling, including wearing a face covering. This is compulsory unless you're exempt on medical grounds by law. Passengers are asked to avoid paying by cash where possible. A number of paper timetables will be made available and will be distributed at the beginning of October. Roadside information may not be up to date, and passengers are urged to check Southern Vectus app or website before travelling.
This is Chris reading an article from the Isle of Wight County Press. Meet the Isle of Wight's own comic book hero. When Isle of Wight comic book author Russell Sheath released his first edition, it became the biggest selling book sold by Heroes comic shop in Newport and outsold Batman, X-Men and The Walking Dead. Now he is launching his second. He is holding a signing at the shop at Scarrott's Lane on Saturday from 12 noon to 4 p.m. His first book was written for the iconic Commando series and was set on the Isle of Wight. Russell said, "With help from the county press, that comic became the biggest selling comic ever for Heroes, which was amazing for my first ever comic, and illustrated local interest and support for local creators such as myself. My next comic for Commando is called Daggers Drawn and is set in the Highlands of Scotland, featuring the Royal Marines on exercise taking on gun runners. It is out on Thursday, September the 3rd, and I will be signing copies with safe social distancing precautions in place at Heroes on Saturday. There will be signed comics, limited edition prints and scripts to buy, and the chance to ask Russell some questions."
This is Howard reading an article about a new school bus route from the Isle of Wight County Press. Some parents left without home-to-school transport after the Isle of Wight Council changed its school bus contract to save cash say they've finally been told about a replacement service, Route 200. After weeks of pressure from anxious parents, a timetable was released late on Wednesday, just hours before Carisbrooke College students were due at their desks and less than 2 days before the reopening of Christ the King College. Parents have told the county press that the new route appears to link Godsill, Knighton, Whitwell and Chale to Carisbrooke College and Christ the King College. One relieved mum said communication with the Isle of Wight Council had been poor. She said it's been so frustrating for parents and students and very unsettling to know if or how they'll be going to school. It's been a very stressful few weeks. The council should be ashamed of how they handled all this. Why was there a problem? The local authority agreed to make the money-saving changes in its budget earlier this year. In April, it warned that although families eligible for free transport would continue to be supported, fewer seats would be available to those who live further from their child's school. The scale of the problem didn't really become clear until August 3rd, when parents who would normally pay for a seat on a school bus were asked to apply for places. Schools found their routes had been scrapped completely, leaving them to find commercial bus routes instead. But for those living in rural areas, departure times, the length of the journey, and the accessibility of routes meant they couldn't get their children to school at all. Telling the county press they felt let down, parents warned it would force them into their cars and put their ability to do their jobs in jeopardy. Eventually, new timetables were announced by Southern Vectus. But not everyone was covered by the new routes, and since then, until the 11th hour, those who fell through the gaps have been left to worry about how to get their children to class.
This is Sue reading an article from the Isle of Wight County Press. Is 66 miles to the Isle of Wight too far for a COVID-19 test? After being offered the Isle of Wight as an alternative COVID-19 test site, a Londoner has told the county press the journey would be too far and too expensive to be a realistic option. He has also questioned the safety of driving more than 66 miles south, including a ferry crossing, if he was displaying symptoms of coronavirus. Kevin Wood, who lives in southwest London, has been searching for a nearby test site on behalf of a friend. Although both live close to a coronavirus testing location at Twickenham Rugby Ground, Kevin was instead automatically referred to the Isle of Wight by the online system. He has previously holidayed here and says he loves it. However, he has called on his local MP to take action after discovering that our vacation hotspot is actually his nearest testing site to offer space for a vital test. Tests are now being carried out at New Close Cricket Ground on the outskirts of Newport, after the mobile team moved from the Medina Leisure car park last month.
Hi, this is Steve reading a story from the Island Echo. As the summer fades and autumn draws in, a magical change happens all along our coast. Migratory birds start to return to our shores. This is a busy time for a local organisation that helps to raise awareness of these birds, such as the Brent goose and the curlew. Bird Aware Solent is made up of local authorities and conservation organisations to help the future of internationally protected ducks, geese and wading birds. They have a team of rangers that visit busy places where people and the birds like to congregate. Places like Ryde Sands on the Isle of Wight, Emsworth, Weston and Calshot. The rangers talk to visitors, highlighting the birds on the beach and why they return to the Solent every year. With social distancing measures in place, their task this year is a little trickier. To adhere to this, the rangers will be using an application on their mobile device to enable people to see magnified views of the birds going about their business. Councillor Sean Woodward, chairman of the Partnership for South Hampshire, the PFSH, the body that oversees Bird Aware, says, "Lockdown has created change for everyone, and the Bird Aware Rangers are no exception. We have been working closely with partner organisations and following government guidelines to make sure that the ranger team can do their job as effectively as possible for the return of the winter birds. Every year, Bird Aware employs seasonal rangers so that more important messages about protecting the birds can be conveyed. Keep an eye out for the rangers on a beach near you and get involved by sticking to paths and keeping your distance from the birds."
Alison reading from the Island Echo. Onboard hand sanitizers for bus passengers across the Isle of Wight. Southern Vectus has introduced extra onboard measures to complement its bus cleaning regimes. The local operator has installed hand sanitizers for customers to use as they board buses across the island. Andrew Wickham, Managing Director of Southern Vectus, says, "Since the government began easing lockdown, we have seen a steady increase in passengers across our network, and we are thrilled to be welcoming them back. Our team is good to go, and so are our buses. We already have stringent cleaning regimes in place, including extra focus on touch points with antiviral wipes. But we are giving our operation the belt and braces treatment by also adding hand sanitizers. It's about ensuring people know they can travel on our buses with confidence, and with demand for our services rising, we are pleased with the response we are seeing here." Southern Vectus recently received the industry standard mark "We're Good to Go", which recognises its efforts to implement cleaning and social distancing measures for staff and customers during the coronavirus crisis. The standard is issued by Visit Britain to confirm businesses are ready to encourage visitors. Andrew adds, "We are of course keen to help people visit the many wonderful shopping and tourist locations that we are blessed with here on the Isle of Wight. But our services are used extensively by those who live and work here too, and we're delighted to be welcoming them on board."
This is an article from the Isle of Wight County Press, read by Terry. Ryde and Newport Weatherspoons extend Eat Out scheme by launching discounted menu. At the weekend, we rounded up all the Isle of Wight restaurants continuing in the spirit of the Eat Out scheme. Now Weatherspoons has joined a club. Along with Newport's Castle Inn, Bembridge-based Ye Old Village Inn and the Sloop Inn at Wootton, The Ryde and Newport branches of Weatherspoons have launched their own discounted menu. They have called it Stay Out to Help Out, and it runs from today until November the 11th on Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. The meals on offer include an 11-inch margarita pizza with soft drink for £3.99 and a classic 6-ounce beef burger with chips and soft drink for £3.99. A traditional breakfast of fried egg, 2 rashers of bacon, 2 hash browns, baked beans, sausage, tomato and toast will cost £2.99 and a small breakfast £2.49. The pubs will also be offering 3 small plates for £7.50, as well as desserts at £1.99 and mini desserts at 99 pence. There is a choice of 21 small plates in the 3 for £7.50 deal, including nachos, halloumi fries, chicken wings and 9 varieties of 8-inch pizza. Coffee or tea with free refills will be available for 99 pence and all soft drinks will cost 99 pence. Weatherspoon founder and chairman Tim Martin said the government's Eat Out to Help Out scheme was extremely popular with our customers and a great boost to the hospitality industry. We are keen to offer our customers a superb choice of food and drink at great value for money prices.
This is Sue reading an article from the Isle of Wight County Press. Red funnels Isle of Wight vehicle ferries to resume service. Red Funnel says full service on its vehicle ferry crossings between East Cowes and Southampton will resume on Thursday. The Cross Solent operator was left with just 1 boat on Wednesday. Red Eagle was taken out of service after a breakdown, as repairs to Red Osprey, which has been out of service since last week due to the sudden discovery of faults, also continued. Passengers were warned of severe delays. Some ticket holders abandoned their travel plans and traffic queued through East Cowes on Wednesday afternoon. When will the ferries be back? Red Funnel says repairs to defects in Red Osprey's aft main engine and voith propulsion have now been completed. The ferry returned to service on Wednesday night, with its first sailing just after midnight. Red Eagle will re-enter service after 10 a.m. on Thursday. Leanna Lakes, Operations Director, Red Funnel, said, "We once again wish to thank our customers for their continued patience and understanding throughout the duration of the service disruption, as we know it's been tested. We are deeply sorry for the inconvenience caused and completely empathise with our customers' frustrations. We strive to avoid situations like this at all times, and when unexpected incidents like this happen, we all feel it. I would also like to say a big thank you to our teams and crews on the front lines, as well as the staff working around the clock, behind the scenes. This has been a particularly trying time, and we're all looking forward to resuming our planned full service."
This is Howard reading an article from the Isle of Wight County Press about giant house spiders. Spider mating season is about to begin, and people are already starting to spot the giant 8-legged creatures in their houses. In the first or second week of September, it's likely we'll see a peak in the number of large male spiders crawling through our houses. The male giant house spider, also known as Eratigena atrica, will be on the hunt for a female to mate with. The females tend to lurk in neglected corners of the house and are commonly found in places such as under the sofa, in garages, or by the fireplace. They're also regularly spotted in baths or showers first thing in the morning, or in the middle of the night as they seek out sources of water and become stuck. These humongous spiders have a leg span of up to 7.5 centimetres, meaning in total they can grow up to 15 centimetres across. It's no wonder with legs this long that the giant house spider held the Guinness Book of World Records title for top spider speed until 1987. They're one of the fastest invertebrates in Hampshire and can run up to 0.5 metre per second. Once the males find a mate, they'll stay with their chosen female for some weeks and mating numerous times. Eventually they die and are then eaten by their female mate. Professor Adam Hart, entomologist at the University of Gloucestershire, told the county press, "I'm sure arachnophobes will be pleased to hear it doesn't last forever. It usually dies off by the middle of October." He's urging people not to kill them. They're harmless and aren't aggressive. We're definitely more of a threat to them than they are to us, that's for sure. They're great predators and natural pest controllers. They play their part in the great ecology out there. The best way to get rid of them is the old cup and card trick. You need to be careful if you pick them up to get rid of them, because they can give you a bit of a nip, and you can also damage them, of course. In the UK, there are more than 650 different species of spider, and all of them can bite, although only 12 can cause any harm to humans. The British Arachnological Society say if you're bitten, don't panic. They advise that very few species of spider in Britain have been known to bite and cause any problems. As these 8-legged creepy crawlies love neglected areas of the house, the best way to keep them out is to regularly clean and keep windows closed.
This is Sue reading an article from the Isle of Wight County Press. Want to sell your house or buy one? Here's what happened to our house prices since lockdown. House prices across the UK have jumped in the last year, with a spike brought on by those wanting to move following the nationwide lockdown, new figures have revealed. The latest numbers from HM Land Registry have shown a 2.9% increase in May 2020 versus May 2019, an increase from the 2.7% annualised figure last time. This latest set of numbers represent actual home sales completions across the board as registered with the HM Land Registry. CEO of Open Bricks, Adam Piggott, said, "Delighted to see two positive sets of market analysis with property values reaching new heights, which is an impressive effort, all things considered. Rishi Sunak's shot in the arm for the housing market has certainly worked, yet we must also be cautious of the outlook for a runaway market given that the end of this stamp duty benevolence is just 6 months away. If the economy isn't in better shape come this point, it could be a hard stop for house price growth." Founder and CEO of getagent.co.uk, Colby Short, added, "These fresh stats reinforce the positive numbers that have been emanating from the high street lenders in recent weeks. It seems that the only way is up for house prices with a 2.9% year-on-year increase, smack bang in the middle of a once-in-a-century pandemic. Who would have thought it? Well, the majority of the industry, actually. We have more faith in the resilience of the UK housing market than most given that owning a home remains a key aspiration in British culture." Managing Director of Barrows and Forrester, James Forrester, said, "A significant hike in house prices, and so quickly despite so many experts calling the death of the UK housing market. Well, those so-called experts look a tad stupid now, don't they? Of course it is early days, but such a dramatic change in the landscape speaks volumes about the resilience of the UK property market. Those economists and such like that seek to bolster their credentials by spouting unfounded prophecies of doom, as they have repeatedly done over so many things in recent years, not least Brexit, should take a good look at the housing stats and then take a good look at themselves. The property market is one of the cornerstones of the UK economy, and to continuously talk it into the ground for no other reason than to gain column inches is irresponsible, to say the least. Luckily, the facts and the current reality we're seeing on the ground paint a very contrasting picture."
This is an article from News on the Wight, read by Terry. Island Card. Isle of Wight Council launch gift card scheme as part of Island's recovery blueprint. The Isle of Wight Council say they are looking to team up with local business associations alongside town and parish councils to develop pilot schemes in Newport and Ryde. A new gift card scheme, the Island Card, is set to launch on the Isle of Wight as part of a raft of wide-ranging measures to help get the local economy back on its feet. Residents will be able to spend in local shops, restaurants, cafes, bars and leisure venues using the special prepaid Island Card, helping to support independent retailers and reboot the high streets. Working in the same way as a shopping centre or department store gift card, purchasers will be able to choose how much they want to preload onto the card. The Isle of Wight Council is looking to team up with local business associations alongside town and parish councils to develop pilot schemes in Newport and Ryde. By encouraging customers to shop local, Councillor Wayne Whittle, Cabinet Member for Regeneration and Business Development, said similar projects in other parts of the country had brought a welcome boost to the local economy. He said, "The high street and our town centres are an integral part of post-COVID recovery. Now, more than ever, we really need islanders to shop local. If people don't come into our local town centres and support our businesses, we really will lose them." This would be a fantastic way to keep spending right at the heart of the local economy. The development of an island gift card is just one way the Council aims to work with its partners to help the island's economy bounce back from the devastating impact of the coronavirus pandemic. Published for the first time last Wednesday, the authorities' COVID-19 recovery plan, A Better Island, forms the blueprint to get the island on the road to recovery. Based on the 3 pillars of recovery, community, economic and place, the proposals focus on the next 18 months, keeping COVID-19 infection under control, supporting people and businesses through the recession, and working with partners to do both while under huge financial pressure. Council leader Dave Stewart said, "The coronavirus pandemic has hit our island extremely hard, and we now need to ensure that we prioritise helping our businesses and residents by giving them as much support as we can so they can recover from this unprecedented situation." The underpinning of our recovery plan is that it keeps people safe as well as helping to bring our economy alive with innovative schemes such as the proposed Island Card, pop-up business school to assist people to start their own business, and a youth employment support hub. The crisis has shown us how we can all pull together and why we need to continue with that community spirit. This plan will focus on the most vulnerable, but also aims to ensure that no one on our island is left behind. The COVID-19 recovery plan, A Better Island, will go before Cabinet members on the 10th of September and is available to download.
This is an article from Independent Living read by Lisa. Access to work. The scheme that funds the practical support necessary for the employment of someone with a disability or long-term health condition has a COVID support update. New extensions to Access to Work scheme have been announced by the government. People who are clinically extremely vulnerable can now get their applications fast-tracked. Access to Work funding can now cover taxi fares and public transport costs if a health condition prevents you from travelling on public transport during the pandemic. Those working from home or in a workplace with a disability will benefit from extra help. thanks to the extension of the Access to Work scheme, including support for special equipment, travel costs and mental health. COVID-19 is changing the way we work and impacting working environments and arrangements, with many employers asking workers to adapt to a new environment. Access to Work can play a key role in supporting disabled people to retain, return to and move to employment. Details of the new extension scheme. You can now get grant funding if you have a disability and need support to work from home because of COVID-19. It can help pay for special equipment such as a screen reader or video remote interpreting or support worker services. Funding can be fast-tracked if you are clinically extremely vulnerable. If you travel to your workplace and public transport isn't a safe option for you at the moment due to a health condition, you can apply for financial support for taxi fares. If you're anxious about returning to work and need support, you can also get mental health support through Access to Work with a tailored package of support for up to 9 months. Applying for funding is easy, either online at www.gov.uk/access-to-work. That is www.gov.uk/access-to-work. You can call on 0800 121 7479. That's 0800 121 1749. Thank you.
This is Sue reading an article from the Isle of Wight County Press. £260,000 island firms fined over Atkinson Drive building site fall. 3 construction companies have been fined after an Isle of Wight father of 2 suffered fatal injuries while demolishing a 2-storey building in Atkinson Drive, Newport in 2016. The work had been in preparation for a development project, the Health and Safety Executive, HSE, said. Portsmouth Crown Court heard how an employee of Ride Demolition Limited was removing roof timbers by hand with a colleague when a gable wall partially collapsed. The incident on October the 13th, 2016 caused David Shaler to fall backwards. The 53-year-old bricklayer who lived in Ryde struck his head against a stack of roof tiles. He was flown to Southampton General Hospital and was later transferred back to the Isle of Wight, but died of his injuries. An investigation by the Health and Safety Executive, HSE, found work was inadequately planned and managed by all the duty holders involved in the project. It ruled the technique used to remove the roof timbers was done out of sequence and the brick gable had been left unstable. In addition, inadequate provision was made to prevent falls from height, despite concerns raised by workers in the days leading up to the incident. Court proceedings got underway in October. 3 Isle of Wight businesses, which pleaded guilty to breaching health and safety legislation, must now pay fines and costs after the case reached its conclusion. Ride Demolition Limited of St John's Hill Ryde pleaded guilty to breaching 2 counts of Section 2(1) of the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974 and was fined £80,000. H.J. Bennett Limited of Pyle Street, Newport, pleaded guilty to breaching 2 counts of Section 3(1) of the Health and Safety at Work 1974 Act and was fined £120,000. Stoneham Construction Limited of St John's Place, Newport, pleaded guilty to breaching Regulation 13(1) of the Construction, Design and Management Regulations 2015 and was fined £56,667. The 3 firms must each pay more than £12,000 in costs. The risks were not controlled, which led to the preventable death of a father of 2. Speaking after the case, HSE Inspector Dominic Goucher said, "This was a tragic and wholly avoidable incident caused by the company's failure to implement safe systems of work. Demolition is a high-risk activity whose safe execution is complex and technical and where expertise is vital. The risk of unintended structural collapse is well known within the industry. Demolition requires careful planning and execution by contractors who are competent in the full range of demolition techniques. Falls from height remain one of the most common causes of work-related fatalities in this country, and the risks associated with working at height are well known. In this case, the risks of structural collapse and falling from height were not controlled, which led to the preventable death of a father of two.
Hello, this is Lisa with the CEO report for the 4th of September. Our regular slot on Vectus Radio on a Tuesday evening is going to change. It will be from this week aired at 9 p.m. rather than our usual 6 p.m. slot. So to confirm, it will be aired on Saturday 3 till 4 and Tuesdays 9 till 10 p.m. For anybody unable to listen to us on Vectus Radio, as always, it is on the Sight for Wight website at www.iwsb.org.uk. That is www.iwsb.org.uk. I am delighted to announce that our strategy for the future of Sight for Wight is now agreed by the Board of Trustees and in place. This is a direct result of a rigorous process over the last few months. We have mapped out the low vision journey that anybody living with sight loss will undergo, from diagnosis, whether that is through birth, a sudden onset or a clinical diagnosis, and identified the needs of people at each stage of this journey. We have overlaid the current Isle of Wight provision to identify gaps and duplication. The needs of people have been established by going out to the members, volunteers, trustees and the wider Isle of Wight community, and the provision identified by engaging with all of the Isle of Wight organisations who are offering services and help to Isle of Wight visually impaired residents. We will be sending out a copy of the strategy in your preferred format to every member in the near future and are very much looking forward to implementing the new aims and policies. This said, as always, we are here for you as an individual. So if there is anything you wish to add or need any help or advice with, we are always here to listen and help. This week's Talking News shares the latest government guidelines on what we can and cannot do. As a result, Millbrook House remains closed for activities at the moment. But guidelines are set to ease from October and social distancing being further reduced by the 1st of November. Providing, of course, there is no second spike. We will keep you informed of all changes. Thank you for listening to this week's Talking News. Lisa, CEO, Sight for Wight.
Hello, this is Ruth Hollingshead with just a bit of a warning about a scam call that I received earlier this week. I do get the automated calls every now and then purporting to be from BT or Amazon Prime, which I hang up on straight away. But this is actually a real person. She said to me, "Is that Mrs. Hollingshead?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I'm phoning you from Amazon about some unusual activity on your account." Obviously, immediately my ears pricked up and she said, "Did you order an iPhone yesterday?" I said, "No." She said, 11:30 yesterday evening? "No." "It's been sent to an address in Liverpool. Do you know anybody in Liverpool?" "No." And she said, "Right, there's obviously been some fraudulent activity. I will put you through to our security department because you need to immediately change your password, cancel the order, and we can sort out to make sure there's been no financial implications to you." So I said, "Well, thank you very much." So she put me through. Another lady answered, again, "Is that Mrs. Hollingshead?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "I'm going to help you now change your password and just cancel the order to make sure that nothing's gone out of your account that shouldn't." I said, "Thank you very much." And she said, "If you go into the search box at the top of your computer and just put in the code I'm going to give you, it will give me remote access so I can do this for you and make the process a lot easier." Now, immediately I thought, no, you should never give remote access to your computer to anybody that you don't actually know. I mean, sometimes, for example, the RNIB technical support team, or if you use Dolphin support team, they can do things remotely for you, but it's very much somebody you know and trust. So immediately I had alarm bells in my head. So I was able to turn to her and say, "Well, actually, if you are from Amazon, obviously my account details are in front of you. Can you confirm the first line of my address and my postcode, please?" And she said, no, I can't, but if we can just go ahead with it. I said, no, thank you very much for your call. And I hung up. So just be wary. These calls are doing the rounds. And as I say, if you have alarm bells or you are concerned in any way, always hang up and call back the company that it purports to be, and they will give you more information. Or give us a ring at Site for Wight and we can give you information about how to report scams or where to get support.
Hello, this is Lisa reading an article on the COVID restrictions. What is changing and what can I do and what can't I do? From the 15th of August, the following businesses can reopen and activities can resume providing they follow COVID-19 guidelines. 1. Casinos. 2. Skating rinks. 3. Bowling alleys. 4. Indoor play areas. 5. Indoor performances. 6. Remaining close contact services, including any treatments on faces and eyebrows. And 7. Wedding celebrations and other celebrations for a maximum of 30 people. From the 1st of September, schools, nurseries, colleges will all open and universities are also able to open. From the 1st of October, if prevalence remains around our current low limits, audiences will be allowed in stadiums and conferences will be allowed with businesses, providing they are done in a COVID-19 secure way. In November, the ambition is to scale back remaining social distancing measures, but this is contingent on a number of factors, including the consideration of specific challenges as we move into winter. What should I still be avoiding? It remains the case that you should not 1. Socialise indoor with groups of more than 2 households. 2. You should not socialise outdoors in more than groups of 6 households. 3. You should not interact socially with anybody outside of your group. For example, if you are in a restaurant or place of worship. You should not hold or attend celebrations such as parties where it is difficult to maintain social distancing. 5. You should not stay away from your home overnight with more than one other household. Businesses and venues following strict COVID-19 secured guidelines can, in certain circumstances, host larger groups of people, to a maximum of 30. Participation in an illegal gathering could be subject to an instant £100 fine per person. This doubles for each subsequent offence to a maximum of £3,200 fine. If you host an event of more than 30 people, the fine is a maximum of £10,000. If you experience COVID-19 symptoms, you must self-isolate immediately. Tests are now available to prove positive or negative results. If you have a negative result, you are able to end your self-isolation of 14 days early. However, everybody in the household must prove negative before this self-isolation may end. Here at Site for Wight, we will keep you informed of changes as they occur, and currently we confirm that your safety is our paramount importance and Millbrook House remains closed due to these guidelines. Hello, this is Lisa reading the Skip and Scaffold News. 17 West Street, Ventnor, 28th of August till the 3rd of September. 10A Lugley Street, Newport, 31st of July till the 3rd of September. Number 16 Bath Road, Cowes, 10th of April till the 4th of September. Youth Centre, High Street, Brading, 31st of August till the 6th of September. 62 High Street, Brading, 1st of September to the 7th of September. Santander, number 26 St James's Street, Newport, 13th of July till the 7th of September. 48 Lugley Street, Newport, the 5th of August till the 8th of September. 54 South Street, Ventnor, 3rd of June until the 8th of September. On the Rocks, Bridge Street, Yarmouth, the 2nd of September till the 8th of September. 3 Downsview, Sandown, the 28th of August until the 9th of September. 15 Market Hill, Cowes, the 6th of August till the 8th of September. 95 to 97 High Street, Shanklin, the 7th of September to the 13th of September. Wessex Cancer Trust Mower Place Freshwater, 31st of August till the 13th of September. Wight City Culver Parade Sandown, the 8th of September to the 14th of September. Boots High Street Ride, the 3rd of September to the 16th of September. 41 Quarry Road Ride, the 17th of August till the 6th of September. 13 Ratcliffe Road Ride, the 4th of August till the 6th of September. 44 Fallens Road Bembridge, 24th of August to the 6th of September. Number 2 Weeks Road Ride, 24th of June to the 7th of September. 56 Victoria Road Cows, the 4th of August till the 7th of September. 35 Dover Road Ride, the 1st of September to the 7th of September. 25 Arnold Road Cows, the 19th of August to the 8th of September. 4 Lilliput Court Totland, the 27th of August to the 8th of September. 5 South Street Ride, the 7th of September to the 13th of September. The Parking Bay Sutton Close Ride, the 25th of August to the 14th of September. That completes the skip and scaffolding news for this week's Talking News. Thank you.
Sight for Wight would like to thank you for listening to this week's edition of the Talking News. We would also like to thank our volunteers for reading, and a particular thank you to the Isle of Wight County Press, Isle of Wight Observer, News on the Wight, and Island Echo. A special thank you must go to Vectus Radio, who has helped us get vital information to our members.